A file-sharing platform. What could cause you the most trouble? It is the owner of Mega, the file-sharing platform that most of us have heard of before, which opened with 250,000 users on the first day of its establishment. Kim Schmidt, with a fortune of more than $500 million, woke up on the morning of June 20, 2012, in his $24 million mansion in a 250,000 square meter lot, to a day different from the peaceful, wealthy days he woke up every day, because that huge mansion was surrounded by two helicopters by a team of 80 people, including the FBI's heavily armed anti-terrorism teams. As soon as Kim heard the news of the operation from his maids, in a sleepy state for now, he left his pregnant wife and children behind and hid in the panic room of his mansion through the secret door he had built behind his room's closet. Out of breath, Kim's life flashed before her eyes as she loaded her shotgun in the panic room. While his internet career, which he started in his childhood, his successful companies, and the great wealth he had achieved in a short time were flashing before his eyes like a movie strip, he loaded his shotgun and loaded it at the door of the panic room. All of it, all his wealth, meant nothing anymore. Before he thought about whether I would really end up like this, there was only one question in his mind. Really, what's the most a file-sharing platform could get into? If you like my videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Kim Schmidt was born on January 21, 1974 in Kiel, West Germany, to a German father, a ship captain, and a Finnish cook mother. He had a trouble-free and beautiful childhood. He was running and playing and going to school like any other child. As the years progressed and technology developed, the computer that entered the Schmidts family's house when Kim was only 9 years old caused a big problem: game addiction. Of course, every child who had a computer was fond of games. But Kim's situation was much different than that. Because he finished the new games his family bought him in a very short time and wanted a new game every time. Since the games were paid, his family sometimes had difficulty affording a new game or did not think it was right to spend so much money on computer games. Because of his passion for games, he learned to break the protection systems of games at the age of 9. Now, when he wanted to play a new game, he just liked that game and cracked it and enjoyed it without paying any money. Later, at the school he attended, he realized that children who were fond of games like him had the same problem. Their families couldn't keep buying new games for them. At this point, little Kim had an idea. He would sell the games he broke to children who were fond of games like himself. He became a computer hacker at the age of 9 and managed to turn his talent into money. But this was never a high point for him. Later in his life, he focused solely on improving his hacking skills. At the age of 9, he learned to connect to computers without permission over phone lines, just a few years after the games had broken their security systems. He may have been very young, but what he did was much older than his age. Just for fun, he was connecting to many computers via 12 phone lines. At some point, he realized that simple tasks like connecting to computers without permission did not satisfy him. He wanted something different than money and free games. To become a brand, to become famous, or rather to be remembered. Kim Schmidt was supposed to be a legend. And he started writing his own legend by taking the Robin Hood character as an example. When he was in his 20s, he started by robbing a bank called Citibank. He infiltrated the banking system, stole $20 million and transferred this money to Greenpeace accounts. He thought he deserved appreciation for donating the money he stole to associations and non-governmental organizations rather than using it for himself. Immediately after the Citibank attack, the systems of NASA and the Pentagon were also infiltrated. Moreover, he had even found a signature for himself on his way to becoming a legend. He left two skulls and his own nickname, Kimble, in every system he entered. After infiltrating Citibank, NASA and the Pentagon on his way to legend, Kimble still couldn't get enough. He set his sights much higher to announce his nickname, Kimble, everywhere. He started to show serious danger signals by saying, "I am smarter than Bill Gates and I will be one of the richest men in the world." And these serious danger signals first appeared during the US operation in Iraq. This time, Kim planned a political attack and infiltrated the computers of the US Department of Defense, leaking secret documents related to the operation. With this last action, Kimble had already crowned his name. Even though he marketed himself as a folk hero, things were not as he portrayed them to be. Because he realized how much money this power he had could make him. He was stealing phone cards and doing illegal things with them. And as if that wasn't enough, he bought shares from Let's Buy It, a company in collapse during the 2001 stock market crisis. With all the $330,000 he earned from these businesses, causing the company to instantly gain value, and then sold all the shares he held, earning $1,340,000 with this manipulation. He was profitable, but the company suffered a terrible decline because of him, and people lost serious amounts of money because of Kim. Things were going well for young Kim. He had millions of dollars. He had hacked NASA, the Pentagon, and the Department of Defense. But without realizing it, he made a mistake that almost every hacker makes. He was infected with America. After the Ministry of Defense attack, Kim was easily captured in a very short time with a raid on the apartment where he lived in Munich. The stock market manipulations, the robberies, the illegal work he did with his phone card, who was tried for all these crimes, was funnily kept under surveillance for only 3 months and sentenced to 2 years. Later, he got away with all these crimes with a suspended sentence. But now he could neither pirate nor find a job because of his criminal record. At this point, Kim decided to start his own business and put his hacking to good use. As a former successful hacker, he would protect companies' data, and so he founded Data Protect. Kim was reaching out to companies to find customers, showing them how easy it was to break into their systems and literally forcing them to work with him. Its first customer was Lufthansa Airlines. Data Protect was a great job for him, because he was earning millions of dollars with every contract he signed and was truly living the life of his dreams. He managed to make the name Kimble legendary by looking like a millionaire and successful hacker rather than a simple hacker. Data Protect was a business that was doing well, but it was definitely not a job that would make Kim a legend. It seemed too monotonous for Kim. There was no excitement. Yes, maybe he was living a good life, but if he became legendary, he could live better. That's why he thinks 80% of Data Protect belongs to the German company to Rheinland. He was looking for something different, more exciting, something that would make him legendary. And at this point, he thought of installing megaupload. This site, founded by Kim in 2005, was perfect for other internet hackers like him. You could enter the site and download movies, music, games, and programs without paying copyright. The site became so popular on the internet at that time with this feature that Kim became a baron controlling 4% of the internet traffic in those years. As soon as he realized this popularity, he founded Megaporn as a blow to sites with sexual content, Megavideo as a blow to YouTube, and Megalive to compete with Ustream. Moreover, the person who sells memberships to very cheap media on these sites for more storage space and speed has turned into a man whose fortune is estimated to be $500 million, thanks to the fame of this site. Megaupload and its derivatives had now grown so much that the capacity of the platform had increased to 50 petabytes. Sometimes 50 million people visit the site a day, and some earn $150 million every month just from membership payments. Nobody was paying for any original content anymore, because that content had already been uploaded to Megaupload. Even though the business was going well for Kim and the people on the internet, there was a problem. Many film industries, including Hollywood, game studios, and record companies were bleeding because of this site. Any production, game, movie or album would be cracked and appear on Megaupload just a few hours after its release. The damage caused by Megaupload was in the billions of dollars. In fact, Hollywood alone suffered a loss of $500 million. This was the last straw. The hacking he's been doing since childhood, the stock market manipulations, the damage he's done to every industry, the Pentagon, NASA, Citibank, and Department of Defense hacks. Someone had to do something now. Exactly after these events, an urgent arrest warrant was issued for Kim Schmidt. They were going to raid his house, take him from there and put him behind bars, just like the 20-year-old. They broke into his apartment in Hong Kong, where he resides, and found a completely empty house. Because Kim had already foreseen these events and acted one step before everyone else. In 2010, with the money he earned from all this work, he moved from a simple apartment in Hong Kong to New Zealand to a $24 million mansion on a 250,000 square meter land. Because of this investment, he became a New Zealand citizen and changed his name to Kim Dot Kom. The fake millionaire hacker image he showed for a while finally became real. He was truly living the life of his dreams in a huge mansion, with luxury cars, millions of dollars in cash, 3 children, and a pregnant woman. Besides, no one could touch him in New Zealand. At least that's what he thought. But no matter how beautiful the dreams are, eventually you have to wake up. In 2012, the USA made a request to the New Zealand government with an arrest warrant. They wanted the great pirate Kim Shamitsi, or is it instead called Kim Dot Kom? Because this man was officially a threat. After months of espionage activities and information gathering, Kim's stronghold, the mansion, was raided on the morning of January 20th by a total of more than 80 heavily armed forces and 2 helicopters. This raid was the largest high-profile pirate raid up to that time. When the FBI and New Zealand police entered the mansion, Kim learned this early and hid in the panic room through the secret door he had built in the closet of his room. His pregnant wife, 3 children, 100 million in cash and cars were all outside. And he was being hunted by the Tim who raided the mansion. Kim, on the other hand, was busy only in his bathrobe, pointing the shotgun he had hidden in the panic room, and perhaps living the last moments of his life. But it didn't happen that way. Kim Shamitsi was needed alive. He needed to be alive, with all his possessions and knowledge. In any case, Kim was not brave enough to fire that shotgun at the heavily armed team. That's why they captured Kim alive. After this entire operation, they seized 64 PayPal accounts from Kim's bank accounts. And they shut down megaupload, the website that made millions, with the help of the FBI. They also confiscated $165 million from his mansion. The story should end here, right? Everything seems to have come to an end. From now on, Kim will be brought before the court and will be sentenced 2 years. No. Despite this clever operation, Kim was still one step ahead of them. There was actually a reason why he moved to New Zealand. Because he knows about the operation that will be performed on him, and he also knows that such an operation is illegal in New Zealand. In New Zealand, you cannot spy on citizens, spy on their homes, or land a helicopter like this in their gardens, especially if your search warrant has expired. And if you do these despite everything, you will literally have to let go of the person you caught with your own hands. That's why, despite all the damage he caused and all the piracy he committed, Kim was released on the condition that his internet access was blocked, and he remained under house arrest in his 250,000 square meter mansion, thanks to the legal advantages he envisioned. After all this, the great pirate Kim left this title with his own words and founded Mega, which we all know and use. The difference between Mega and megaupload is that the data you upload is stored on Mega servers after being encrypted. In this way, Mega has no knowledge of what storage areas are and therefore does not show any legal responsibility. I don't know who you think won at the end of this whole adventure, but we are talking about the name Kimble in this video. So we can say whose idea of becoming a legend was successful.